Alright, I'm playing with a minimally modded gameplay. I'm still deciding what country I want to play as, because I don't often play without certain mods that I disabled for this. But I think I'll do Sweden just because... yeah, I'll do Sweden. Unless I don't like the focus tree. I'm not going to do Iron Man mode. I'm just recording this mostly for the Steam thing, and then I'm going to post it on YouTube too, so... Well, I'm going to post it on YouTube first, so that way it's easy to post on the Steam section. I don't know how well a recording will work for this game, in fact. I'm going to have my stream music running in the back on a low volume. Unfortunately, I can't as easily see if this audio setup's working properly, so... I'm so used to having a research speed up that I do that. It's not going to be exciting gameplay, but it's not going to be without content. I've had people in my friends list ask me why I don't record myself playing this game. It's because I have issues playing games with my CPU. Some games I can't as easily record because of it. One thing that I've noticed kind of is that having maxed out railways is a pretty important asset. My brother told me the strategy of placing a supply hub at every exit of your nation. Wherever the railways end, you want a supply hub, is what he told me. I don't know how well it works, because I've never really tested it out myself in a fully legit game. This one's a partially legit game, so I'm gonna try different strategies that I've heard should work. I also like to have my railways surrounding my nation to where I can build more supply hubs on the border if I need to. I'm just gonna place a few supply hubs in a few different places that seem like a good idea. I'm gonna queue up some port constructions. Don't know if I'll ever get to it, but hey. It's nice to have supply to your troops whenever you can. It's also nice if you ever want to have your allies able to be in the same airspace to have maxed out airports, so as well as I normally play with higher manpower, so that's fun. There's no thing to help with manpower on this one, so on Sweden, so that's fun. Recently for Poland, I did this tree for Poland not too long ago. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to play. I honestly want to retry this section to see how well it would go at some point, but eh. As there's gonna be nothing for me to do anyways, I'm gonna leave it on 5 speed until something interesting happens. I also normally play with a political power buff, where it gives me more political power overall. I believe I'm also playing with a mod that, yeah, I have a mod that enables higher factory count as a region gets developed. That's done via this, which requires a few factories to do so, and political power. Factories and political power. I think what I want to do is I want to go for fascism if I can before Germany declares war on Denmark and Norway. And then I'm going to try to take over Finland. I'll also have to try to figure out how to take out Iceland after they've become independent. It's going to be a tight focus to go down. I don't like that. I'll replace him later, so that way I get the notification out of the way. So right now, manpower is kind of fucked, but hey. I don't really focus on Navy too often, even though I should. It'd be probably better to focus on Navy. But hey. Can you blame me? When one game I tried to play with Navy, one naval province got such poor supply that every time I moved the Navy around, it caused more supply issues. Well, if you've never done it before, in this game, if you shift click the exercise button right here, it will exercise your troops until they're the max level to be exercised to. They also hate consumer goods, so 124 days. Ha! There's not much to do in this time, so If I knew how this software worked, I would pause it right this second. But I don't have an editing software, and I think I'd have to completely stop the video to be able to take out the middle stuff. So, the mod that's going on with this is the AML mod, Atlantis Mu Lamaria. As you can see, this is Lamaria. The nation that just declared war on the other nation is a civil war between these two. It's a communist party versus a fascist party. This one eventually goes into civil war. It's a hit and miss whether or not it's a winning civil war for either side. As I said, I think I'm going to go for fascism this playthrough. You know what I just realized? There's no way to start working on becoming fascist as Sweden, from what I can see. Maybe I can go down this. Oh, come on. So in other words, without gradually drifting into fascism. That's fun. That's cheap. Very cheap. Why am I doing that side? I want research speed at the moment. Well, I see which one they went. April Constitution. I'm just gonna give myself some fascist support. See if that adjusts anything. I don't think it will, but hey. I think it's gonna be the same thing. No progress towards any of the fucking parties. The annoying thing is, if I go this way, then it'll start. These ones will start pushing me towards that direction. Non-aligned is the only one that allows you to choose which side you want. Half the time I'm not talking, I'm drinking my coffee. I just woke up not too long ago. I think in the future, if I ever get a better CPU, I'll join a voice chat on Discord that I'll name recording in progress and maybe even do the same thing on Gilded. I haven't nuked Gilded, by the way. Oh, I should mention, the music's by 99 Lives. I'm gonna put it in the description, but yeah, because I haven't done this in forever. I tend to forget to mention. No, I'm gonna put you on somewhere else. I'm gonna modernize this area. Having those theorists are very excellent if you want to speed run a certain doctrine. Like now, all land doctrine costs 10% less. There was also one where I got one of the land doctrines down to 85 experience to get one. I don't know where I got that. I think it was like a 15% less. This one's a good one. They're all good in their own right. You just need to know how you're going to play the game before you start putting them all over the place. 29 days now. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Is this mod that does the whole development thing lowers the max factories to 12. I don't know how big of a difference that makes, but hey. I'm not going to develop this because I've been in a situation where I've trapped myself with 0 factories usable. So I don't do that unless I'm over 12 factories used. Besides, with this playthrough, I'm going to try to snowball early. I think I'm going to keep it to max of 10 types of or 10 of one type of factory per province. Since this is going to try to be a legit playthrough. This one's going to take... no, 9. That's 9. Alright, we almost have over 12 factories. Having those experience daily ones is always useful, especially if you don't plan on working on it too much. One thing that I've been told is having each research slot in a different category is always a good idea. So this one's going to be here. By the way, each of these are considered tier 1 research, but you have to go through a different tier research. Like, this is tier 2, tier 3. The different levels of out of date, so these ones are all the same amount of time to research. They're not considered forcing you to research at any different time. But everything else does. Like, after I modernize everything, I'll stop caring about how far behind or how far ahead something is and just research it. Like, one good thing to eventually start researching will eventually be yeah, that's why I don't like doing it too often. Now it's 471 days till the next factory. Anyway, one of the nice things to go down the research tree of is guns. They don't seem that, it doesn't always seem like that big of a deal, but my research tree gives me a higher capability with guns, like 4 kilometers per hour is the max speed for this one. I think that might be the same for all of them. I've gotten infantry to be able to go up to 15 kilometers per hour. Hey Google, what's 15 kilometers per hour to miles per hour?
15 kilometers per hour is 9.321 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast speed. Honestly, don't know where it came from, but clearly right now my troops aren't anything that special. Currently at the normal max speed of 4 kilometers. I do. I've just thought about it. I do know where it comes from actually. Right here. If I were to max out the weight, 10 more kilometer per hour. And I don't think you can sully the weight at all, like the speed that you can go with these. So if you want to if you had this mod and you wanted to make your troops able to move pretty damn fast, you wanted to make your troops move pretty damn fast and you didn't want to have to, like, this only ups the production cost by 0.55. Now, if you start going into these sections, it can start changing stuff even further. But I don't think any of them lower the speed. So, it's also something that you have to invest a fair bit of time into trying to do because it requires experience to change. I'd recommend waiting until you have 500 experience in military before you do that. You're supposed to be able to increase range and shit for planes, but I think one of the mods messed that up. Yeah, it's something you'll get used to seeing with this mod, this AML mod, is that British Lemuria is always in trouble. Always. Another mod that I have running is, it gives me higher tier support equipment, as well as increases the timeline to 57. I like giving myself research mods because I increase the speed of my research from time to time, so it gets boring if you run out of things to research. Let's check. Our political scale is the same exact political scale that I had earlier. Lovely. I've actually had Sweden join the Allies at one point. as a different country. Ta-da! Clearly, I don't care too much about holy legitimacy here. Like, that's the easiest way to play the game. It's just... I've never had that happen, even when I did change my country to fascism before. I'm not gonna fix my manpower right this second, but... I need to increase my war support to increase my manpower. That's something to deal with later. Well, I think that'll actually help. I forgot about that part. Well, plain and simple. I want to restore the Kalmar Union and possibly even proclaim Nordic unity. The only way to do that is I have to step on some toes. I should look up a way to make Sweden naturally turn fascist. I like research slots. I don't know about you, but I like research slots. Hey, look. So as world tension rises, apparently I never noticed that before. That's another good thing to have is keep your ruling party, like try to make your ruling party as popular as possible. The more popular your ruling party, the more stability you have. Of course, popular ruling party is not the be all end all. Far from it sometimes. Oh, and probably the only thing I won't fully modernize is going to be the support section, because that's a shit ton of research. I'll probably wait later on down the line to modernize the support section. I know I'm going to try to keep this one modernized as much as possible. I should probably choose my general now. That is going to be important. They paced. Wait, they're trading with me? I didn't know I was such a big trade power. I love how they're still trading with me, even though it's gonna wreck their economy the second I declare war. Like, how many many factories is that? They're only trading one factory, so I'm gonna keep most of the trade factories, because looking at it, I'm getting several from trade. No aluminum trade. Italy and Czechoslovakia are trading tungsten with me. Well, no longer Italy. Liberia, Denmark, Hungary, Switzerland, and the Netherlands are trading iron steel with me. I'll always call it iron for some reason. So that's where most of my trade is coming from. That's historical too, is that everybody traded steel with Sweden. In fact, the Allies wanted to occupy parts of Norway, supposedly to defend them, but in all reality, it was to make a more secure line of being able to get Swedish steel. Seemed like a good one to go for. Oh, if you're wondering why Ethiopia hasn't... Oh wait, they did. I didn't notice. Well, this nation has a chance to get Ethiopia with them. Yeah, this is one of the nations added with one of my mods. It's with the AML mod. They went this way. They had to have, because they didn't intervene with Ethiopia. So they didn't supply Ethiopian army. They didn't get more stuff for themselves. So they just left Ethiopia to their own devices. Normally, like, this is just only the second time I've seen them not join Ethiopia. And half the time that they join Ethiopia, it fucks over Italy. But yeah, until YouTube becomes viable again, it's going to I'm not going to have editing software anymore. My brother might pay for editing software because he's thinking of doing the same thing, getting it back or getting into YouTube himself. So him wanting to get into YouTube means that he may pay me to edit his videos, essentially. I could send volunteers and get more stuff. Actually, no, I can't because I don't have nothing. That's not something that's going to be easy to solve, so. All I know is that Denmark's not going to be able to put up much of a fight. And Norway's going to get the same treatment later. Oh yeah, another thing. With one of these mods, I can core territories for 200 or so for a pretty expensive political power, but you can still core territories, so it's not horribly hard. Alright, I have finished that, so I'm gonna start it back up. As you can see, makes us a bit more modern now. So getting those those extraction ones is very worth it because you get more resources by researching the extraction, which if you're a trade power, like you have a lot of people trading with you, you want that. Especially if you don't have a lot of factories on your own. Because look how many I almost get twice as many factories just from trading. I'm almost I'm almost able to be half of a well, I'm half of a superpower mostly because I'm trading with a lot of people. Like this is the most sought after resource that anybody wants from me. As you can see, Denmark decided they don't need as much steel, so they stopped trading with me. Either that or their trade influence has died down. But yeah, if you're a low manpower country, you want to get declarate war goals out sent out early. I've always learned that is sending out your war goals early is a fast way to not getting fucked over by the allies. Countries you want to avoid are countries that are normally in the allies, aka France and the US. Declaring war on the US, not only is it a bad idea because any country that will have the ability to declare war on the US, it makes sense. It's either going to be bordering them, which is only two nations, practically three in this mod, but they're all weak nations in all reality. Maybe, maybe Atlantis would be able to reasonably do it, because as you can see, their ideology is split almost right down the middle. I've been listening to tips that people have been giving me for this game for a little while. And paying attention to stuff that I've learned by just messing around with shit. Like, if you play as Poland and you don't let Germany have Eastern Poland, then the Soviet Union will justify a war against you, and they will try to fuck you over. So if you ever want the Allies to be at war with the Comintern, there's your way. Russia doesn't like me or Sweden because, yeah, me or Germany because the anti-Comintern pact. Having an extra research slot is always nice. This focus tree allows me to get 5 research slots if I am able to build up my industry well enough. And instead of squandering my trade relations, I'm slowly working on making myself fully self-reliable, where I don't have to worry about having trade resources. But remember, there's always a catch-22 with trading. Because look, there's only 5 total resources that I have here, and I can only use 3 of them for myself. Because 2 of them go straight to trade. Not like anybody will want to trade for 2 lowly aluminum, because look how many people have more aluminum. They're more likely to trade with Norway, who has 21, than me. They're more likely to trade with the US and France because they're the trading superpowers of aluminum. If you ever get oil, you're probably never, unless you occupy all of the oil-rich regions in the Middle East, including Russia's regions, you're probably never going to pass the US. There's very little possibility of passing the US in oil supply. There's ways to do it, yes, but it's very hard and you have to be on top of your game with oil. Yes, I know if I didn't do that, I'd have more stability, but I already have over 50% stability, so. The only way that nationalist Spain will ever get screwed over in the Spanish Civil War is if Carlist Spain joined. If Carlist Spain ever joins the Civil War, nationalist Spain has the highest chance of losing, and Republican Spain becomes the more likely one to win. So if you ever want to play the Spanish Civil War and you don't want to lose as the nationalists, make sure you take care of Carlism. You need to take care of this if you ever want to play as the nationalists. Or take care of the Civil War early, which, as you can see, not even the AI is capable of doing, and the AI tends to be pretty good at taking care of Spain. The regional also, that's just another thing you'll notice is that color scheme is completely fucked over in Spain. Alright, how much longer? About 60 days, less. How long would it take if I were to do this? 300. What's the maximum amount of days? 500? That's why you wait until... Unless you're at war with a major, you can't easily declare war with minors. I think even if I wanted to declare war on the Soviet Union, it'd take as long. Yeah. I have the political power to do it, but I don't have a border at hand. It'd essentially be suicide to ever declare war on the Soviet Union. If you ever have this modifier, never declare war on the Soviet Union, it's just asking for trouble. I get 116 recruitable every state. Like, playing as the Nordic region is asking for low population. Germany hardly ever has population issues. Russia hardly ever has population issues. The United Kingdom actually does, but that's a funny thing. They have high population regions, but they have population issues half the time. Alright, so... Oh, wait, I forgot to select what research I want you to be on. I'm gonna have you modernize my Air Force. Am I able to switch you out with... Well, I'm not gonna be training very much. I think organization will be the best one for now. Until I can take care of that Until I can take care of that issue with manpower, I don't need to worry about training speed. I have 12 units and I will be damned if they aren't gonna become the most elite units I'll ever have. I think my next plan will be focusing on upping my recruitable population. Poland in the latest update has some of the biggest debuffs, including this one right here. That's 7 factory slots that Poland can't use. Right there. There's no point in wasting your time building things in Danzig until you crack down on Danzig. Like, this is the focus you need to finish before you can even hope to deal and like be able to properly use Danzig. $10. Well, 9 now. I shouldn't make this that much longer. This video. That's probably going to be a good idea. Join the Axis. I'm not going to call them in. Well, I have player-led peace conferences, so if they want to join the war, they can. That'd probably be faster. Denmark has no troops on their southern border. It's gonna be fast as yuck. Germany, how did you let that be red for half a second? Yes, German Panzer. Yes, come help. Let's go over Copenhagen together. Ha! I knew it was a good idea. I have player-led peace conferences on, so I don't have to worry about managing that. I'm just gonna make this video taking over Scandinavia as Sweden. Did I miss somewhere? What's the last state that I forgot to select annex on? Denmark. Denmark, where's your colony? What the? I'm sitting evil colony. That's an evil colony. There ain't no way anybody's gonna be able to take that from me. Yeah, I'm just gonna have this video taking over Scandinavia as a not fully legitimate Sweden. I'm gonna first form the Kalmar Union to help with that manpower debuff I have. Fuck. You know what? I'm not gonna be focusing on my navy, and my navy takes up a big portion of my manpower, so I don't care about my navy. The only one I'm not gonna decommission is going to be the Pride. I don't want to destroy the Pride of the Fleet. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't want to delete the whole task force, as I said. My navy's not taking up as much manpower anymore. I don't have the manpower to expend on this stuff. Yes, air power and naval power is very powerful if you ever want to take over other nations easier. Air and naval power are some of the ways to go, but it's a bit too much cumbersome if you don't have enough manpower. Besides, I have fucking Germany on my side. Why the fuck would I worry about air power? As I said, I'm gonna make this just a video about me taking over Scandinavia as Sweden. Just as a reminder, this music is from 99lives.com. Last I checked, their site itself wasn't working, so if you look them up on YouTube, you can find them. Just remember, take out the .com part if you're gonna look them up on YouTube. It's not a very... Their YouTube doesn't have .com in it. But I'm pretty sure you guys would be smart enough to understand that part. I'm not gonna say anybody in my audience is stupid. I'm not a stupid person like that. I'm smart enough to know that my audience is smart. honestly, that'd probably be a good thing to go for. Just playing against Finland after I'm finished with, or while I'm. Fuck you, Japan. Fuck you, Japan. Fuck you, Japan. Alright, how do I spell it again? That's worth a shot. Well, I said I was gonna do it, and I will fucking do it. I don't give a shit. I hate that part though. Like, you're really gonna stop a tiny nation from doing shit. I need 200 political power. I need this too. We also need this. I can't garrison that. So why even try? It's gonna hurt because they might revolt on me. But hey, manpower is manpower, right? Well, to be honest, it's probably gonna hurt my population when the United Kingdom joins the war on Norway's side. Kind of wish they'd get involved in some big war, so that way they'd have to pull their focus away from fucking Europe. But no, we have to bully the little guy because we're Britain. You know what? I'm already not playing that legitimately, so. Does it really hurt that much for me to do this? Does it really hurt that much just to adjust that little bit? The United Kingdom's already bullying me, so. I don't think it'd be very beneficial to train anymore because I'm still above how much I have in my army total. Or I'm still below how much I have in my army total, so I don't think it'd be a very good idea to push the envelope any further. Plus, after I declare war, it's probably gonna plummet a little bit. I'd love to have not made such a long video, but I forget how long it takes for Seville to be built. That is if you're playing 100% legitimately. Well, not 100%, but yeah. even with a little bit of buffing here and there. I like to spam out convoys because it's nice to spam out convoys because when you're facing a naval power, it's not very fun to have to worry about having a low convoy count. Plus, if you ever try to move them across your naval empire, move troops across your naval empire, you'll find out very fast. You'll find out very fast that it you run out of convoys pretty damn fast if you're moving them just across your empire. I think that'll increase this a tiny bit. My eventual plan is to do service by requirement. Things sped up a tiny bit when I gave myself political power. A tiny bit. By the way, if you forgot, this is British Lamaria right here. It's not like the rest of the British colonies, as in, there's nothing you really have to do to be able to get independence. They're, I think the mod developers are making it so that way if you go down this path, it's a partial severing from the British Empire. But there's nothing stopping them from declaring independence early. Other than, well, the constant civil wars that they're having. I knew it. At least that might get the British at war with a Comintern too, which, if the Comintern asks if they can move troops through my land, that you can bet your ass that I'm gonna let them. That might get the United Kingdom at war with them at least. You gotta manage your allies in this game. Germany's just now noticing that there's gonna be a major war up here, so they're moving troops up here. Realistically, I don't think the United Kingdom would be able to do this in real life. Guarantee the Nordic powers if this were to happen, because they were struggling to be able to convince their population to go to war over Poland in the first place. Like the Munich Agreement was because the both Britain and France didn't want to go to war yet. So I'm 90% certain that they wouldn't have been willing to guarantee the Nordic powers right away. They did when they did because they were already at war with Germany. In fact, I believe that in real life, the German or the British soldiers didn't want to go over to Norway to defend them. Partially because Norway didn't want to help Britain defend Norway as easily as other nations did. Like, Norway was trying to stay independent for the entirety of the war, so. Well, now I have more manpower than on the field, so that's a good sign. Not an amazing amount, but still. I'll have to play the game of letting Britain poke at my shorelines while only guarding my ports. Germany's ready to fight Finland, but that's gonna take over 300. Well, under 200 days now. This is my current focus. It's gonna bring the United Kingdom, and I'm gonna let Germany do their thing for a little bit until they request to join. I know they don't have enough manpower to defend their ports. So I'm just gonna try to maneuver my troops around where I can. Actually, I think this might be a good idea to do. Oh, that's fun. Oh, when did Italy join the Axis? I didn't see that notification. Early World War II, go Burr. That's a benefit. Any lowering of consumer goods is always a benefit. gonna be partially detrimental, but it might be the thing I need. Probably gonna lose troops to that, to be honest. I need to try to keep the Allies out of Norway. I don't know how that would help, but okay. I don't think that'd be a good direction to go either. Stay the fuck away from the Allies as much as possible. This just shows the power of the fucking British. The British Empire. Too fucking powerful sometimes. Yay! French forces weren't prepared. Ah, okay, now they are. Fucked. Well, now I have over 100,000 manpower, so. Totally not because I gave myself some manpower. Or not manpower, war support. Despite the factory, construction, dockyard, and training time being higher, I think this is a good thing to go for. Thanks, Italy. You're a big help. I'm in desperate need of troops. I want you to cause the French to regret doing that. I need to eliminate as many ports as I can. Less ports means less capability for the Allies to supply the Norwegians. I need to keep them away from Oslo. Because not having Oslo is a big thing for them. And I wish these guys were faster at being able to move. Yes. No. Okay, yes. That's 2. But they're very low on organization, it looks like. That's what that one is, right? Yeah, organization. So are my troops. So I'm hoping. Fuck. Kind of funny that the borders have barely changed in the north. South is where most of the battles are taking place. I need to lower their aggression. Okay, you're not gonna be able to. You're not gonna be able to defend and attack there. Can you take Trondheim? No, you're probably not gonna be able to, unless Trondheim. All right. Please, please be moving. No, please be low on supply. Please be low on supply. There's there's 3 troops, 3 divisions defending that one port. Just remember, Britain can never fully defend Norway. I need to deal with these pockets. Southern Norway, I have a pretty strong hold on. I need to lower my border by any means. I'd love to push it to where. Fuck. Fuck. I need you. I need you to double time it over there. No, that's not where I fucking clicked. I don't want him to be moving. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the definition of ridiculous. Take victories where I can. Take victories where you can. If the Germans are using up manpower to deal with them. Yes! Ha! Payback, bitches. There we go. France has lost the most manpower doing this. Am I able to? How does the air supremacy? Good. Thanks, Germany. One goal is making them use more manpower than I use. Picking victories. Italy. Italy, what the fuck? I'm just glad that I haven't been navally invaded in any way, shape, or form yet, so. Hey, this is my normal, whenever I choose intro music, this is what I normally choose. Every once in a while I want to push these guys to lower their organization, because I don't know if their organization will rise fast enough. I have that buff to my organization, so. If I can destroy their organization, then I can push them out of there. I don't know how possible it is, though. If I had more troops down here, it'd be even better. Because if I had more troops down here, I'd be able to encircle them fully. I mean, overall, I've partially greatly decreased the border in some spots, but increased it in other spots. Alright, we need you to push again before they regain too much. I'm hoping to see. Oh, Italy! Yes, Italy, thanks! Push with me, please. No, don't run away! Push with me! Bitches! That's not good. I need you to move down here, because I highly doubt that port's going to be unguarded. I want you to push here, and you to push here to distract these two. No! Okay. Fuck off! Thanks, Italy. Thanks, Italy. I no longer need you to retreat. Take victories where you can. Make them lose manpower by moving troops into there. If I can take this port... Oh, hell no. No! No, you don't. Alright, you. Italy, it's okay. You are not fully encircled. There's a port there. I will try to get my troops over to support you too. How much have I screwed myself by doing this? I still have like 200-ish days. Alright. Italy, just help me push this port. Italy, this would be faster if you helped. Didn't you already call these fuckers in? I was gonna say, are you really considered a major? I highly doubted it, but yeah. This port's literally a thorn in my side. Okay, I want you to move down here. Italy. Yes. Yes, under 10. Under 5 maybe? Yes. Yes! Yes! Victory for the Severe Reich. We have successfully pushed the British off of a port. Yes! And now we are causing casualties. Again. The British and French must be pissed at that. That's like the Dunkirk of Norway. Anywhere where I can make them lose entirety of a troop, of a division, is a good thing for me. Between me, Germany, and Italy, how many casualties has Norway had? I'm almost the biggest casualty causer. That's a good sign. Italy has caused the Allies the most casualties. Me being in second place, it looks like. Except for here. Third place here. I'm just gonna let my industry build. I take victories where I can have them. I see a potential encirclement here, so if he were to start moving, I'd focus one troop on keeping him in place. He's also low on supply, so take victories where you can fucking get them. South Africa, you're not going to like what'll happen for this. Actually, that's total encirclement. Let's push you. If you move your... Okay. Oh, come on, Britain. You're a dick. Anything that lowers the consumer goods is always a good thing, in my opinion. As well as anything that lowers the amount of ports that they can focus on me. How long? How long? Because I think I might have Norway out of the picture by the time that's done. It's 38 now, so... No, you don't. Get back to that port. Yes! 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 I guess you could say they did not see that coming. Yes, I made that pun. And you're gonna like it. Alright. Alright, now... we get ready to do the same thing to Finland. Except for, they're bigger and... they're slightly bigger and wider, so... I hate these events popping up in the middle of the goddamn screen while I'm doing this. Like, look, that messed me up. That's gonna even better for our manpower. Ha ha ha! Suckers! Alright, how's my industry look? I have way more than 12, so I'm feel safe in doing this. Well, now I can do this, so I'm gonna do this. Again, having more research slots, in my opinion, is always better. Faster you can get up to date on everything, the better. Yes, it makes sense that Germany's justifying. Because if we can take out the mainland of France, that's better for us. It makes sense that Germany's capital is over here. kind of funny, to be honest. I think I'm on path to being considered a full major. I don't know how the major mechanics work in this game, so I'm not focusing fully on military stuff, so to me the most important thing to focus on is civilian industry to build up my defenses. Keeping manpower relatively high is always a good idea. Let's watch how the rest of the faction is doing. Italy looks like they're starting to be able to push back again. They probably put too many troops in my territory to defend their own. Fuck. Italy! You didn't have to focus so hard on defeating Norway for me. Oh, fuck off! I'm gonna have to take those back in order to proclaim Nordic unity. It'd make more sense if the focus required taking over Karelia. Germany, you actively made everything harder. Germany's about to start doing a bit more casualties to the French. Let me guess, it's a naval invasion? I think so. Yeah, that's yep. Yep. They don't care. I'm not. My focus is on Scandinavia. I consider Finland as part of Scandinavia, to be honest. Honestly, the Scandinavian peninsula starts, like, right here, for me. In my opinion. It's separated enough right because of these lakes. The rivers also help separate it a bit more. That and up here is a region of Russia that's not easy for them to fully control anyway. So the benefit to taking over land that you can get a core on in the middle of the war is that you don't have to garrison those lands. The benefit for me is that Finland's not guarding their border. In fact, for whatever reason, they're not mad at me as mad as I'd expect them to be. That's probably why they don't have many troops on my border. This invasion's probably going to end up being a Norway 2.0. For now, while it's not a very well garrisoned border, I want them to be speeding across the Finnish front. I'm aware that this land, and this land will probably end up going to the Russians. Because once Finland doesn't have the ability to defend themselves against it, it's probably gonna... They're probably gonna be going, yep, you can have that land. Because that's how it always works whenever I take over land, is they give... The owner of the land gives it to whoever the fuck they please. Video is almost over. Let me move this deployment zone over here, closer to the front. Pardonnez-moi. Pardonnez-moi. I think I have most of their army trapped in the north. I'm not gonna focus on dealing with the islands that I lost. Like, do I still have this little piece of heaven? Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose that when a certain somebody joins the war. When Germany inevitably declares war on them. not used to taking over Finland from the north. I've done it before in a previous playthrough, but damn. They don't have any other supply possibilities, so... They have no way to supply their north, so... We have ways to supply our north, so... While it gives us the low supply debuff, it's more deadly for them because they have no supply routes. Plus, thanks Germany, you're more helpful than fucking Italy. I just upgraded my infantry equipment. The sooner we can push them out of the ports... Well, I don't think the Allies can even supply Finland anymore because I took their northern port and this is a blocked strait. Like, they can't move troops through here. For them, it's enemy, so they can't pass armies, navies, submarines, or trade through here. So they can't supply Finland, they can't put troops in Finland, they can't do anything to Finland. Also, because I need to supply these regions. That's going to be a juicy encirclement. Probably better than the intended encirclement over here. Just for a little lesson about paradox media, this symbol right here is what they use for Astaru, the Scandinavian religion in Crusader Kings and other. It's essentially their Scandinavian symbol, and paradox is developed in Sweden, so it'd be neat if they had some sort of Easter egg with Sweden that shows off that this is their home country, but not a lot of Swedes are passionate about their country, so it makes sense too. Ooh. Oh. Finland is fighting all by themselves because no one's able to supply them. I want to be able to push my troops to garrisoning the coast. Although I don't think I'll be navally invaded. I want to be safe. Vasa. It's a Vasa, not a vase. It's pronounced Vasa. Those pretentious people who care how something's pronounced fully. I make jokes about pronunciations all the time because not all of my accents make sense, and they aren't always 100% one accent, but I always like to practice accents, so I pronounce things in various different ways. And I don't care what people think about my accents. They are my accents. No accent is 100% perfect. The Sverreich is now the Scandinavian Empire, and soon it will be the it will soon be the Nordic Empire or something like that. Unfortunately, I no longer control all Danish or Finnish. Well, I will control all Finnish states soon. But I think this is the biggest one. I'll have to. What I'll probably do on my own time after I'm done recording the video, that's already 2 hours long. I'm not really making it for people to watch fully through unless people really want to watch all the way through. I don't have an editing software, and I'm not gonna cut this down. I'm gonna keep it real. None of this video is gonna be edited. If it's requested, or if I ever have enough money in the future, I may edit it properly. But right now, I don't have money. I don't have money to pay for an editing software. I'd have to put it through a free editing software, and I think this is too big for it in the first place. So I'd probably end up having to split this in half. I didn't mean to clear that notification on the game. Alright, how many... Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Producing more factories. Please tell me that's a naval invasion. No, that's resupplying the front. Considering I didn't give myself manpower, I only gave myself, like, political power to deal with garrisons. All of Finland's coastline is going to be gone. Going to be Swedish coastline instead. Finland and Norway are in the top 5 most casualties. Lamaria has gotten some casualties from Germany. And Italy's still having fun trying to take back their border. But that's not my worry. My goal of this video was to create the Scandinavian, well, reunite all of Scandinavia under one power. Vispuri. Vipuri. Oh, there we go. There you go. Unfortunately, I cannot do this right now because you know what? Just for the fucking video. Hey. I could have sworn I put on Fog of War. Just for the fucking video. Tag ing. Tag ing. I don't know what I typed in instead. Tag us. Just for the... What the fuck? Tag. What the fuck? Sweet. We'll see if it puts that. It didn't put it in. What the fuck? There we go. Oh yeah. Delete all units. Fin. Yeah, I missed. Fucking! I did spell it right. Fuck you. How did Norway get... What? What? How did Norway get a navy in the Baltic Sea? They never had a shit. I never understand that shit. Like, they shouldn't be able to move a navy through this area because both ways in is completely blocked. Like, what the fuck? There we go. Oh, and look how many factories I ended on. Do I have any from trade? No? Okay. I didn't do it fully legitimately, but I'd probably have to play as a different Nordic nation in order to get it fully legitimate. Denmark might have a better legitimate way of doing it, but why does it keep doing that? Yeah, these these focus trees are shit. Like you can't do anything with these focus trees that allows you to create your own custom scenario. You kind of have to force the game to allow you to make your own custom scenario. Well, that's gonna be the end of the video at 2 hours long. That could have been a stream, but I didn't feel like making a stream. As I said, this is not gonna have edits. It's just gonna be raw footage. If people are interested in my channel again, I will start editing again with a free software, and if I ever start gaining money from my videos, then I'll start putting that money into the channel itself. Like, to be completely honest, the original reason why I stopped making videos is because there wasn't any interest. I stopped streaming because I didn't see any interest. It didn't seem like anybody really cared as much, so I didn't feel as inclined to do it. Now, in the description, I'm going to put both my Discord and my Gilded referral link, and I will leave my Gilded server link too. I'm thinking of building that up. It's not fully usable yet, but having people who can test it out, who can help me test out the server, is always nice. This video is already very long, so I'm not gonna pad it out. I'm not gonna need to pad it out. But if you want to join my Discord, you can. If you want to join my Gilded, you can. There's probably a template that I have that has the Patreon already in it. I need to look at that because I don't think it's how it used to be. But yeah, have a wonderful day. Hopefully you enjoyed the video if you watch it all the way through. Leave a comment. If you'd like to see more videos, just tell me. I would love to know if people like to watch me play this game, or if you want me to play another game. I can tell you what games I have right at this moment. If you ask me, I'll tell you what games I have. If you ask me to play a game I don't have, I'll just kindly let you know I don't have it, unfortunately. But the games I'll be normally playing is Minecraft because I can easily stream and record that. Now that I have a recording software that works properly, that captures things at source, it likes to complain from time to time that the whole thing is improper. But yeah, you can look at this whole video and you can see that I kept it. I didn't lie about anything. I told you, straightforward. It's not going to be a fully legit playthrough. I I gave myself political power. I gave myself stability, well, not stability, war support, and I didn't give myself political power to give myself higher manpower stuff. I actually waited to get the conscription amount to be able to do that. But nonetheless, I formed the Nordic Empire. If there was a way to do it and be a democracy, I'd probably do that too. Um, as I said, I normally play with mods that give me those extra resources and stuff to be able to play as a minor and create a major out of a minor. By all rights, I should be considered. Me and Italy should be considered majors because we're not that much lower than France at how much factories we have. We're not that much lower than Atlantis. It just takes a little bit of a few more like a few more, maybe an hour or two IRL to build up the industry to where it'll be that of a major. But yeah, as I said, have a good day. I might record a Iron Man game if it's requested. I don't play Iron Man very often because I'll admit it, I'm not that good at the game. I'm not that good at the game. And if you ever want to see me turn on a webcam, I have one. So if you ever want to see it, ask. Maybe I'll make a goal for it. Maybe I don't know. I'll see how much it's wanted. It'll mostly be the people who choose to watch through the video. It's it's 2 hours. Like it's two and almost a half hours. I I don't know what else to say. I did my best to talk through most of this, so I think I did better than what I used to do in the past. I succeeded in my goal to form the Scandinavian Empire without using without using the manpower command. I didn't use compliance. I didn't do some of the cheatsy stuff that I do whenever I'm creating a scenario. I mostly legitimately did this. As you saw, I was struggling with manpower. I in fact had zero manpower for a little bit when I was invading Norway. When I was invading Denmark, when I had to when I had to garrison their lands, I got to zero manpower. So I only made it possible, more possible, because there's not enough of a focus tree to possibly, like, I wish there was an alt history focus tree for any Scandinavian nation to first first change their government type. Like, bigger than this. Like, where you could start going down a fascist, communist, or democratic tree. Because the way it works is that Sweden, Denmark, and Norway are democratic. Finland is non-aligned, so they're the only ones that the political effort will tree will work for. Since they're non-aligned, they could easily go down a nationalist tree and start turning fascist themselves. But if they were like communist or democratic, they could only go down those democratic trees if they were democratic. if you're not aligned, it's probably the yeah. If you wanted to be neutral, you could go down this one. Sweden starts out with the neutral foreign policy, apparently. But once you turn fascist, it removes it from you for some reason. Probably because, I don't know actually. But yeah, it led to some funny things. Like, that's the first time I've seen France properly push Italy. I think Atlantis is a big counterweight to the whole thing for France. I think it helps France out having another ally to help garrison their mainland. Because Britain hardly ever moves troops into France. But I've seen Atlantis move troops into France. Having two people who move troops into France means that France has a better defense when the Balkans, no, not Baltics, lowlands start getting declared war on. Benelux is a weak region. It's easy for them to fall, and France never garrisons this border when they're at war. So France can easily, like in real life, France can easily fall based on Belgium and Belgium and the Netherlands falling. Germany just pushes right into Paris. Once Paris falls, France has a disjointed government, so once they lose Paris, Paris is like 50% of their capitulation progress. Like, Paris is literally 50 victory points. If I were to click on Paris right now, I'm pretty sure they'd capitulate. But I'm not going to do that because I'm going to play this game later. That's why I clicked over here first, because it wasn't letting me click on Paris. Shift clicking, if you have occupation paint turned on, will make it the original owner of the province. So if I did this, it turns Italian. If I do this, it turns Italian. But if it's occupied by a troop that's not trying to move or being attacked, if the troop's not trying to move or it's being attacked, then it will stay the territory that you made it. Anyway, this video is already long enough. It's almost 2.5 hours. Like 9 minutes till 2.5 hours. I'm not gonna edit it. I'm not gonna cut anything down. It's literally at the 2 hour 21 minute mark. I'm gonna stop it now.